All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Get to Know Kelowna. I am your host, Darcy Fiander. I'm a realtor with Vantage West Realty. And today I have joining me Morgan Brannon, who, correct me if I'm wrong, you got a bit of a long title here. You are the manager of individual giving and major gifts with the United Way BC, the Southern Interior branch. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me. I'm excited to have you here.
Thank you. It's nice to be here and connect with you today.
Yeah, right on. So one of the reasons I'm excited to have you here is because so far as I can tell, you've actually got quite an amazing background. You've got a degree from the University of Arizona in Spanish, I believe. You got a master's degree from California. I think you're from Colorado originally. Is that correct?
No, but
Maybe.
I did live in Colorado and I am, from California.
From California. Okay. So suffice to say, you've definitely been around North America and you ended up in Kelowna, which is my favorite city, obviously, and you're with the United Way. So I'm really excited to learn a little bit about your journey that got you to the Okanagan and got you working with United Way. And I think that's a great place to start. So why don't you share a little bit about your background?
Yeah, so my name is Morgan Brannon, and with the United Way, I have kind of the long title, but basically donor relations. And I wanted to first acknowledge that I'm coming to you from Kelowna, the ancestral territories of the Silk Okanagan people, which is an honor and a privilege. I love it to work and play and enjoy life on this land. So I'm originally from Huntington Beach, California, but I'm filled with curiosity and appreciation for culture. So that's what led me to travel. I've been to 65 countries and lived in 6 other countries. So my MBA was actually emphasized in international finance. And so I started out by working at UBS Financial and then in strategic management consulting, which informed the approach of how I work. And then it was my passion for helping people in need that led me on to the next chapter of my work, which was with the World Bank and specifically in the Development Economic Data Group. And to gain field experience, I worked for the United Nations Office for Project Services in Amman, Jordan. And that's where I developed projects for refugees across 6 countries in the Middle East. And from there, I knew I really wanted to help nonprofits, but I also wanted to establish a sense of roots and gain my own sense of community, which is now here in Kelowna.
All right. Yeah, that's amazing. It's really cool to talk to you. I think few people have been to that many countries, so that's incredible. And I'm glad you landed in Kelowna. I've gotten to know you a little bit over the past little while, and you're an amazing person. What surprised you about living here in Kelowna? Anything in particular?
Well, me, I found myself enjoying the small city feel. Like we have all the amenities here, but I'd never felt this sense of like not wanting to leave my area. I love the walkability and appreciate just kind of the lifestyle overall, but it's that mindset of having to nudge myself out of my parameters a bit. And that was surprising because I heard about it, but I didn't know I would be one of the people that kind of had to make effort to cross the bridge now.
Totally. And if you had to pick one thing, what's your favorite thing in Kelowna to do?
Okay, so everything outdoors is what I'm at, but my magical thing that's happened this past year is going for a lake dip every Saturday morning. And I mean, through the ice, through the snow. And yeah, I just did it for 1 whole year. And I have a few friends, they became like accountability buddies who I go with. And that's just so special.
Oh, that's amazing. Super unique too. I haven't heard that one before. And we'll flip over a little bit to the United Way. On a bit of a high level, can you describe what the United Way is, what it does?
Yeah, so United Way British Columbia is really here to support healthy, caring, inclusive communities. So what we do is strengthen vital connections, and that's to support people in need. So just July of 2021, we came together to represent 6 regions: Central and Northern Vancouver Island, East Kootenay, Lower Mainland, Southern Interior, Thompson, Nicola, Caribou, and Trailland District. So now that we're together, we serve a population of over 4 million people, but still our focus is on kids and youth, seniors, poverty, mental health, and food security. And we do that 3 ways. Essentially, funding is what people know us for because we do fund programs and initiatives, and that's always aimed at making measurable, lasting changes. The second one is really uniting. So we leverage our network of community relationships, our knowledge and resources to convene and connect people and organizations to solve problems collectively. And third, we are here to address root cause. We facilitate system change by supporting initiatives that address those social issues that reflect back to the kids and youth, seniors, poverty, mental health, and food security.
Amazing. Yeah, we've worked personally with the United Way. I've worked personally with the United Way, and our office has also donated. And I've always appreciated your guys' approach to really focusing on the whole systemic issue that you can tackle. So I think that's a really cool approach. Has anything surprised you while working with the United Way?
Yeah, it's funny. Obviously, we've had a lot of different things come about this year, but one thing we got recently was UFC wrote to us to say, can we donate and partner for the floods? And we actually thought it was kind of like a scam, but it turns out that Dana White of UFC reached out specifically because they have a huge fan base in British Columbia, and they wanted to support those who always support them and in the times of need, like through the flooding. So that was really surprising because they took it a step further. They made a video, they advocated for why United Way, why helping flood relief, and showcase how to donate. So they kind of brought forth that circular approach of like every person and every player has a part in the success of our community.
Wow, incredible. I'm glad you shared that. And maybe this goes hand in hand. Maybe you've got something different, but what's your most memorable experience so far with United Way?
It kind of does lead from that. Well, when I started was 1 week before the pandemic. So I was just thinking, it's kind of typical hours and kind of priorities. But 1 week later, it urgently switched over to helping those in need, tackle all the things of the pandemic. But then that was furthered by the heat dome, the fires, the flooding. And in the donor relations side, I felt, I'm not boots on the ground feeling the impact the way I really felt called to. And I got this opportunity within United Way British Columbia to support our community investment impact. And most of all through the floods and the in-kind donations that came through. So it was amazing to see how $2 million came through that we can grant away, but also there's so many different ways that people chose to give in terms of their resources. They're able to help with transportation. They're able to, give laundry detergent, appliances, shoes, and I'm talking pallets and truckloads of it. And they're wanting to make sure it gets exactly to where it needs. So it was fast and furious, but it was also so rewarding. And it happened. I actually saw the news of the floods and thought, I want to get involved. And the next day I was involved, and I was, able to feel the impact of what the community comes together and brings for each other. So that was exactly what I was seeking, but obviously the impact is still there and a lot work to do, but it was that moment of seeing it's coming, it's happening, and the community showed up.
Amazing. That's a good transition into my next question, which is, what does donating to the United Way look like? How can people get involved? Share a little bit about that.
Yeah, so focus is always on kids and youth, seniors, poverty, mental health, and food security. So right now, as everyone's seeing, kids are vulnerable, seniors are isolated, and many of us are feeling that disconnect from one another because each of our stories in the pandemic are different. None of them are the same, but Statistics Canada says 1 in 7 Canadians live in a food insecure household. So food security actually means having access to sufficient, safe, and nutritious food. We even want to take it a step further with having culturally, appropriate foods. But United Way British Columbia is working to ensure all British Columbians have enough to eat. And this is through various programs and initiatives. So we really understand the complex issues facing the local community and each of the differences of the communities in which we work. But we do our homework and make smart investments in programs that tackle these challenges. We invest locally. So donations stay in each local community, and that's to create lasting positive change. We get results because we work with our community partners, civic leaders, policymakers, and as even corporate community to create a better future. And all that comes either through donating, through volunteering, and just giving where you feel called to. And there's so many different ways to do it, but it all starts just by that awareness.
Yeah, that was an eye opener for me. I kind of always pictured donating as donating money, but time is also a big resource that you guys can utilize too, right?
Absolutely.
And anything coming up with the United Way that people should know about?
Well, a few things. One thing we have that's kind of exciting, and it's our signature 10th annual United Way South Okanagan drive-through breakfast. So that's at the Penticton Lakeside Resort on March 2nd. And people can sponsor, volunteer, just drive through, enjoy a breakfast. But also another aspect is that we're still on the ground working on a variety of programs and essential services that are going to be critical as the BC residents are recovering from both physically, emotionally after flood devastation. The immediate needs were one thing, but the ongoing trauma, the PTSD from previous incidents like the fires in 2017 and now, and just continuous, upheaval, not to mention the loss of diverse land resources that's had a really significant longer term impact. So we're there for the entire journey alongside those immediately impacted and the long-term recovery efforts. So that, although the floods right now don't seem as in the news as they were recently, it's still a long-term recovery effort that we're working towards. And the other piece that we're really looking at this year and in all aspects of our work is justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. So every piece of our work can incorporate all of that, and we're trying to figure out the best ways to come forth with that.
Awesome. And for people that do want to get involved, what would be the best way for them to contact you or contact the United Way?
So our website, uwbc.ca, is where you can click on the social media icons and follow there, or you can contact me via email, Morgan B, so MORGAN, B as in Bravo, at uwbc.ca. I'm always happy to chat, to answer questions, and kind of direct wherever someone's looking for. That's
great. Hey, Morgan, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. And thank you for all that you do as well to help our community out. It means a ton to everybody that lives here. So thank you very much.
Likewise, thank you.
No worries. All right, everybody. Well, that was once again another episode of Get to Know Kelowna. And today we had Morgan Brannon with United Way. I am Darcy Fiander. I'm your host. I'm a realtor with Vantage West Realty. To learn more about local businesses, local events, and stuff happening in our community, you can check out my website at www.parkbench.com/Kelowna. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.